Okay, we're coming at you from the shop again. It's finally cooled down to something realistic. 85 degrees is perfect. Oh my goodness, we were at 116 on Monday. 2 days after that. Stella is still recovering, sleeping under those trucks. She's absorbing the nice cool air, which 85 may not seem cool to some people. But in the shop, what are we doing? We got hot cars to work on, or are they cool cars? We got this little blue Isetta down on the ground, and we got the red Isetta up on the lift. The red one's mine. I'm trying to actually drive this car home tonight after work because it's 85 degrees and it's time. The brakes are soft, so I'm going through and I'm bleeding them. This one, I got the Dynastart figured out yesterday and I'm putting it back together. So it's sort of an Isetta day. Take the blue pill or the red pill, you choose. So I'm going to get into showing you what I'm going to do. I got to put the fan back on this car. Had it all apart, new Dynastart. I'm going to put the fan in so it can cool itself, the cover, all the topical engine stuff with this car. And that should button that up, put the seat back in it, and I think I want to drive it. It's got a couple other issues I need to sort out, like the rear wheel cylinders leaking and the something else. Oh, the ignition switch I think is funky on this car. On this car, it's the brakes, and I went through all the brakes last time I restored it. I can't bleed the fronts unless I get the wheels off. I've got stainless lines, and the bleeder nipples are like right up in there, and I can't get a wrench in there without taking the wheels off. So if you're not familiar with Isetta brakes, they actually work pretty well. There's a master cylinder here under the seat, and of course you got your brake pedal up here in the cluster pack, and I've got a lot of play in my pedal, and it's not because the pedal is wore out. In the back of an Isetta, little tech for you here, we've got a solid rear end. You can see that's just basically a freewheel. There's no brake on the, I guess would be the driver's side or left-hand side, but on the passenger side there is a brake. You can see the brake line, the backing plate, and of course there's shoes in there, and that's how the emergency brake is applied. But this is a solid axle, so when you apply the brake to this tire, you're effectively locking that tire as well. I don't know if that's a good idea or bad, but that's the way it is. And I just bled this one because this one's pretty easy, and there was a little bit of air in there. Don't understand how air got into my refurbished system, but that's what it is. We're going to get to work. I want to drive this thing home. It's an Isetta type of day. Red pill, blue pill, you choose. Okay, so we got our wheel off of our Isetta sitting there. It's always a challenge not to scrape the new paint on the wheel when you're dealing with lug nuts and hubcaps. I'm going to go through a few things here on the Isetta as far as tech goes. A couple things. I've got radial tires on this car, so I've got radial tire spacers. These are made by Rim Spoke Restorations. Gave me a set of those. Very nice. So what we're going to do, we're going to bleed the brakes, and the way we do that is we hook up our tube here to our brake nipple. We've got a 7mm wrench. We've got it open, and we want the line to go up. The line needs to go up. The reservoir is hung way up there in the car. If it doesn't go up, air bubbles tend to go up and you will trap air in there. And what you do simply is this is actually really easy. I'm going to reach over here with my right hand and touch the brake pedal like this, pump it. This is a one-man bleeding operation. And set the camera right here and you can watch the air pumping. Well, maybe I got all the air out. I gave it a pump before I started filming and there was a bunch of air in the line. And the pedal feels much better. I'm only moving the pedal a ½ inch. If you go full stroke, you'll empty the reservoir and you got to start over. So it looks like I've got the air out of the line. You can kind of see, where's the fluid level? Right here. This will fluctuate with the pedal as you're pumping it, and it looks like I got the air out of this. I have no idea how air got into my lines, but it's been 2009. Whew, it's been 11 years since I put the brake system on this car. Didn't realize it's been that long. And I don't know, sitting around, maybe got some air in it. Let's move on to the next side. Okay, we loosened our lug nuts. These Isetta lug nuts are special. They have a little shank on there, and they're a large diameter. They're 22 millimeter hex head on the outside. So you can see that your paint gets scuffed. Not much you can do about that. The little white there you're looking at, it's the primer, covered up by the hubcaps, which the hubcaps have these little rubber clear protectors on the tabs, keep them from rattling. That's your hubcap. So let's pull this wheel off, nice and gentle. There we go. And we're looking at our brake drum. Set that right there. Again, we've got our radial tire spacer. Radial tires are wider than bias, and our bleeder nipple is right here. So let's get a wrench on there and bleed a little bit and see what happens. Okay, so we've attached our 7mm wrench to our bleeder screw. We've got our bleeder hose running up. You want it up right out of the nipple. It can hang down a little further on the line, but you want it up. So I've got the bottle, which is a Aunt Jemima syrup bottle, hanging up there on the hinge. And I'm going to crack this bleeder like so. The bleeder's a little stiff. Oh, we got some pressure already in there. Let's look for bubbles. Can you see the dark fluid? Oh, a couple bubbles. Do you see those? They kind of came out of their own. Now I'm going to reach around here with my left hand. I'm reaching inside the car, and I'm going to tap the brake pedal with my hand. Okay, you ready for this? Let's see if there's any air comes out of here. Oh, there's a little bit. Hear it? So there's air in that line. Quite a bit, actually. Sometimes air leaks around the seal of the tube on the nipple there, and that might be what's happening here because they're really small bubbles. I'm going to check our master cylinder, make sure we haven't drained it. That always stinks. It's all over it now. It's a little tricky to refill the master cylinder. Oh, it's plenty full. It's right up to the top because you got to get that little bottle under the seat. Let's give it a couple more pumps. So again, I'm reaching my hand, my left hand, over here to the brake pedal, which is in the open door, and I'm going to pump a little bit. And I'm giving just little pumps, little half-inch pumps. We have no air. We're good. The pedal feels really good. I'm going to close this. And to keep from making a mess, I'm going to give you a tip here. You want this bottle, this is your collection bottle, lower. It's all about gravity. So that when you pull this off, all the fluid isn't going to splash all over your fancy paint. You can pull this off and you pull it up really quickly, and you can see it just went down the tube and back into the bottle. And you made minimal mess. Let's check our brake pedal. Okay, I've got a rock solid pedal. It only moves that much. That's what I remember. Like I said, I did the brakes on this car about 10 years ago, and realistically, if that's the only trouble they're going to give me over 10 years, I'm good with that. So we're going to check our fluid level on our master cylinder. We're going to add it a little bit just to show you how it's done. It's a little tricky. You got to get the bottle just right there like this and pour it in. Top that up. Put your cap on. We'll get a rag to wipe that down a little bit. I like to make sure it's on there tight. Not too tight, it's Bakelite, you can break it. But I'm super happy with that. That's what I like for brakes. That's full brake, full stop. Nice. All right, now we gotta put our tires back on. And eventually we're gonna drive this thing home, but we're probably gonna do some work on that car. That might be another video. What do you think? Let's get some driving impressions on this thing, and we'll call it a good time. So the shop dog Stella is ready to go home. Are you ready to go home? She is. And we got my little Isetta ready to go home. The one thing I didn't check was the battery. I suspected this battery is going bad. It's 9 years old. So I've got the booster on there. We're gonna try and start it up. Let's see if it'll go. I'm going to turn my gas on. And I'm doing a lot of charging systems for... Yeah, there we go. Oh, battery does not got a lot. Let's give it some choke. Battery was... Come on, baby. There we go. Tried to go. Okay, now do I risk it? If it dies, I gotta push it off the road or bump start it? I don't know. Let's let it warm up here and see how it does. Alright, so she's still running. I hope the battery's charging. Stella, you gotta scoot over. Let me in here. That's a good dog. You're a good dog. We gotta open our sunroof. Let's just do that now. Oh, I have not driven this car in a while. Oh, that feels good. Let all that fresh air and sunshine in. Didn't get my flipper flapper flapped. So I want to flap it in the back like that. There we go. Okay. Let's shut our door. Warmed up. Ready to go. Hope we don't kill it. Oh, the brakes are nice. Nice and firm. That's beautiful. Yeah. I just love looking at this thing. Bright little red jelly bean sitting here in the sun. Putting away. Stella's ready to go for a ride. It's just beckoning me to drive. I want to put some miles on this thing. Oh, that looks good. Okay, let's hop in and go. Did this. Didn't I just do this? Pretty sure I did. Oh, there we go. Okay. We'll brake off. We're gassed up. We're aired up on our tires. Need a new battery. Hopefully we can make it home. I think I've got a boost box there, but oh, nice drive. Nice to drive. Still got gas? Yep. Charge light is off. That's good. Look at our turn signals. Oh yeah. Oh. Let's let all these trucks go by. We're going to give her the onions, aren't we, Stella? Forgot what it's like to drive. Oh, I almost killed it. Make sure there's no cars coming. Okay. Let's get it up to speed. Turn signal off, we're going to go second gear. Oh yeah. It's running good. That's what I like. I live for this. So the amount of confidence that I've gained by having brakes is phenomenal. When I drove this car to the shop, a month or so ago, it was like pedal to the floor and I was like not confident. But being that I have confidence, I can take turns really sharp, like this. Whoa, hang on, Stella. You almost fell out. Oh, there's my friend. Stella, we made it home. Ran perfect. Love this little car.